Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us for Mission 10. The time requirement is 4 minutes 30 and the orb requirement is 300. This one is probably one of the more difficult missions you'll have faced so far. Definitely the hardest non-boss mission you'll have faced so far. You're up against 3 gauntlets and finishing with a mini-boss of sorts. The first path is against 3 fetishes. Nothing to write home about, especially considering you can start fighting them before you even activate the light. Just make sure you don't get careless and take unnecessary damage, since you won't get a chance to heal later. It's okay to use some DT for this one, but try not to use too much since you'll want to spread it out evenly over the course of the fights. The next path is against a set of blades. They can ambush you a little at the start since you're locked in a scripted run animation, but rolling blades can parry their hits with a low jump. Inferno and the grenade launcher put in a lot of work here since they're all clumped together. I accidentally end up hitting the pause button here, so that's why there's a splice. As you're fighting the first set of blades, you can still be sniped by some of the other ones off screen that spawn up later down the path, so watch out for that. The last path is the real roadblock of this mission and the most difficult fight of all. You've got 2 shadows in not the best arena to fight them in. Similar to Mission 5, except you actually still have a fight after this, so you can't get too low or use too much DT. I'm switching from Nightmare Beta to the shotgun because I need to save my DT for using Stinger on the cause. This is probably the fight where most of your attempts will end if you do happen to die on this mission. One shadow attacks whilst the other is vulnerable, so you absolutely have to split them up if you can, and the camera and targeting system will be working against you heavily in this fight. So many attempts were lost because I'd end up targeting the wrong shadow when the core was exposed, which meant I'd hit the invulnerable one and get impaled by needles. Not only was this extremely annoying because I'd missed my opportunity to kill the shadow, but it was also very dangerous because the shadows DT really quickly in this fight, meaning if you don't kill them on the first time they show their cause, they're basically guaranteed to DT. And when they do DT, you're in big trouble because now they'll send out their close range spikes even if you didn't melee them. And if one DTs, you can be almost certain the other one will as well because of how long it takes to kill them. If possible, you'll want to guide the shadow with the light in it closer to the exit than his friend because the light tends to move to the closest source. If another enemy is closer to the light than the exit, then the light will latch onto the demon, but you can cut the fight short if you position yourself at the exit since it'll go there instead. The last fight is against 2 Clyclops. I never know how to pronounce that name, but I'm not going to re-record this section to try and get it right. I end up making them look way harder than they actually are here. They're just weaker versions of Phantom without any of his special attacks, and there's a green orb you can pick up next to the tree if you're low. Again, fighting them is basically the same strategy as against Phantom, so you can afford to be a little more aggressive in the interest of time. One thing to note is that they also have Phantom's invulnerability phase whenever you hit their face properly, so you can't just wail on them consistently. I think they're the only enemy type in the game that can actually deal damage to each other. Still, it's not a recommended strategy, as it takes forever and puts you at more risk than if you fought them normally. Considering how many times you've fought Phantom up to this point, they should be light work, especially compared to the shadows. That's it for Mission 10. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time for our rematch with Nello Angelo.